Mr. Stevens grabbed the thick folder containing Amara's business plan and shoved it into the electric shredder with a jagged, mocking grin. The mechanical growl of the machine filled the office as the dreams Amara had spent months documenting were turned into thin strips of white confetti. "A loan for muffins? Are you joking?" He laughed, the sound sharp and clinical, echoing off the glass walls of the high-rise bank. "Look at yourself, you smell like cheap flour and grease. You're just a baker who doesn't know when to quit." Amara stood perfectly still, her hands clasped in front of her. She simply looked him in the eye with a dignity that a man like Stevens could never purchase. Robert, the regional director whose name was whispered with reverence in every financial capital, stepped into the room. He froze, his eyes locking onto the woman standing by the shredder. "Amara, is that really you?" he whispered, his voice trembling with a mix of shock and profound gratitude. "The angel from the corner of 5th Street. Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you stories of hidden heroes and the moments where life finally balances the scales of justice. We are so glad to have you with us today as we dive into this incredible journey of kindness and consequence. Before we find out how a simple act of mercy from 10 years ago changed the fate of a multi-billion-dollar bank, we want to hear from you. Who is joining our community today? Tell us in the comments which city or country you are watching from. We love seeing where our global family is tuning in from. And if you believe that a good heart is worth more than a fat bank account, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a like right now. It helps us continue to share these powerful stories with the world. Now let's go back to the moment the world shifted beneath Mr. Stevens' expensive leather shoes. The morning had started like any other for Amara at Soul Bread. The air in her small shop was thick with the scent of cinnamon and yeast, a warm embrace for anyone who stepped through the door. Amara didn't just sell bread, she sold comfort. Every morning, she set aside a basket of fresh rolls for the local orphans and a pot of soup for the homeless men who huddled under the bridge nearby. But her sanctuary was crumbling. The roof was leaking, the ovens were failing, and the city inspectors had given her an ultimatum: renovate or close down. Amara had poured every cent she had into the shop, but it wasn't enough. She needed a loan. She spent weeks meticulously writing out her business plan, calculating every penny, showing how her little bakery had the potential to grow if only given a chance. She put on her best dress, a modest but clean floral print, and walked into the grand marble lobby of the city's largest bank, carrying her hopes in a simple manila folder. Mr. Stevens, however, saw the world through the lens of cold hard numbers and social status. To him, Amara was an annoyance, a smudge on the pristine image of his department. He let her sit in the waiting area for 3 hours, watching as he invited wealthy men in tailored suits into his office ahead of her. He let her stand, refusing to offer a chair, as he flipped through her documents with a sneer of disgust. He called her a bad businesswoman and mocked her for thinking a bank of this caliber would ever look at someone like her. The humiliation reached its peak when he shredded her plan, a deliberate act of cruelty designed to make her feel small. He wanted to break her, to prove that his power was absolute. When Robert entered the office, the atmosphere shifted instantly. Stevens, sensing a chance to impress his superior, began to complain about Amara. He called her a persistent beggar who was wasting the bank's valuable time. He expected Robert to join in the mockery, but instead, the most powerful man in the building walked past him as if he didn't exist. Robert stopped inches from Amara, his eyes watering. He began to tell a story that Stevens had never heard, a story from a decade ago, when Robert had lost everything. He told the room how he had been a man with no home, no pride, and no hope, standing in the rain outside a small bakery. He told them how a kind woman had seen him through the window and brought him inside, not to judge him, but to feed him. She had given him a warm place to sit and a hot meal every single day for a month, never asking for a penny, even though she barely had enough for herself. That woman was Amara. Her kindness had been the spark that gave him the strength to pull himself up and rebuild his life from the ashes. He looked at the shredder, then at the arrogant man standing behind the desk. "You saw a woman who smelled like flour," Robert said, his voice echoing with authority. "But I see a woman who carries the soul of this city. You called her a bad businesswoman because she values people over profits, but it is people like her who make this world worth living in." Robert didn't just fire Stevens on the spot. He personally escorted him out of the building, making sure everyone knew that cruelty would no longer be tolerated in his bank. For Amara, the day ended in a way she never could have imagined. Robert didn't just give her the loan. He approved a massive investment to turn Soul Bread into a community center. He told her that her debt had been paid 1,000 times over by the bread she gave to a stranger 10 years ago. Amara returned to her bakery, not as a woman on the verge of losing everything, but as a leader who had proven that the smallest seed of kindness can grow into a forest of success. She realized that while money can build walls, it is the heart that builds empires. Her bakery stayed open, the ovens were replaced, and the scent of fresh bread continued to heal the neighborhood, reminding everyone that no act of goodness is ever truly lost. It was a victory for the underdog, a triumph of spirit over greed, and a reminder that the world is much smaller than we think. If you were moved by Amara's incredible story of karma and compassion, please show your support for her journey. We believe that everyone has a story worth telling and a talent worth seeing. Make sure to subscribe to our channel right now so you never miss a moment of justice and inspiration. Don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that their kindness matters. Your engagement helps us keep sharing these powerful narratives. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Remember, keep spreading kindness. You never know whose life you might be saving.